FlossTube, it's Lee from Creative Lee with FlossTube number 131 on Sunday the 26th of June 2022, brought to you by the numbers 1984, the letters WTF and OMG, sponsored by The Handmaid's Tale. It's not sponsored by The Handmaid's Tale, but I feel like a great leap backwards has been taken this week with the US Supreme Court decisions, rulings, undoing a precedent, setting now dangerous precedent for the future, because we'll start with women's reproductive rights and then we'll move towards whatever the house they can undo. I firmly believe a women's right to autonomy over her own body. I respect anyone's choice to not have a termination, but I believe strongly that the only person who should be able to make that decision is the woman or person with a uterus. May not identify as a woman. I perfectly respect that as well. And yeah, I think while this itself is an issue I feel very strongly about, shouldn't even be an issue, but it is. It's the undoing of Roe versus Wade, which itself set a huge precedent, but also it's setting precedent for other laws that are not specifically called out in the US Constitution, a document written by a whole lot of rich white men 250 years ago that excludes, by the fact that they exclude specific demographics, groups of people who are not rich white men, using that as a foundation for an argument is ridiculous. And anyone who comes at me with, but it's in the Constitution, fucking change it then, because it's not suitable. It's not suitable anymore. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, rant over. I'm very passionate about this, and I try not to get all political, and shouldn't even be political. I try not to get all social issue ranty, and I do sometimes, and I edit a lot of it out, because it's cathartic to rant about it, but I also I don't know, it just makes me upset. I don't want to have huge debates in the comments about it. I come for the cross stitching, but it's really, I feel kind of ill, like it makes me sick. I feel really worried. I have my own personal story that I might share in a separate video, not necessarily today. And it would be very clearly marked, this is not FlossTube. This covers the topic. And I'd probably turn off comments on that, to be fair. But it's more about we need more safe spaces for people with uteruses to have empathy and to be respected for their own decisions, their own rights, their own thoughts, their own feelings. These are personal issues, and every person with a uterus, every woman, everyone, should be able to have their autonomy over their body. Completely 100% respect somebody's right to not terminate, to have a baby, not have a baby, to anyone, regardless. You should be able to marry who you want, or choose not to marry. You should be able to have sex if you want, and not have sex if you don't want to. Autonomy of your own body. So it's just something it's scary. It's a terrifying precedent that's been set, and I don't know what I can do about it, but we'll see. Anyway, I should give a quick dad update. I'm sorry, last week several of you reached out to me and asked after Dad because I didn't mention him, and that was very remiss of me. He's doing okay. He's bored and he really, really, really misses being able to go and spend time with Auntie Ivy. That's his aunt, my great aunt, who, crikey, she's getting close to 101 now. She'll be 101 on the 7th of October. And he would go and visit with her 2 or 3 times a week. So he still can, but it's harder for him to organise. He's got to organise someone that he can go in with that can then leave him for an hour or two to visit with her. But anyway, he'll work it out, but it's just getting a bit frustrating for him. But he's doing okay. He's waiting for another appointment with the orthopaedic surgeon about his shoulder. He's at that point where if they say they can do surgery, he said he will do it. I said to him, they're not going to offer surgery if they think the risks are too great. There's always risk with surgery. There's more risk with him, with his heart history and his kind of quite recent history, like when he had his valve replacement. Was it a valve? Yeah. And his bypass, they did have trouble waking him up. He seized, but he also was, as I said to him, he was also, he'd been out for however long. They had to restart his heart, which had been in not good condition. He had extreme atrial fibrillation, which they've kind of done a whole lot of cardiac ablation, so now that's less likely, and I don't know. But as I said, they're not going to offer him surgery if they don't think he's going to survive it, or has a relatively good chance of surviving it. And he's absolutely so disabled at the moment due to they think he's done his rotator cuff, or said he's done his rotator cuff as well. So he can't use his left arm at all, and he's left-handed. He said even doing even holding a pen and doing the crosswords really hard. Luckily with home help, he's getting some extra help. So extra help with meals, but as he said, he can only wash the left side of his body. He can't wash the right side because he can't use his arm. He can't lift it at all. So as I said, it's to the point where it's so painful and also so debilitating that if they offer him surgery, he's going to do it, even though he's kind of a bit scared, and I understand that. As I said, it's the first time he's ever been worried about surgery, because he's had a lot of surgery in his life, because he's my dad. But other than that, he's zipping around on the scooter, got the fire going sort of 24/7, keeping warm, and he's just bored. But I'll get to see him, in about 6 weeks. End of July I go up again for a few days, and yeah, that'll be good. So, okay, that's the update there, I think. Okay, Friday, yeah. So Friday we had a national public holiday, and the Wellington Stitchy group gathered for a kind of matariki / Stitchmas sort of midwinter Christmassy sort of thing. Thank you, Anne, for organising it, because I do too much organising in my work, and I just don't enjoy organising for fun. And it was really fun. So probably about 20 of us. A few people couldn't make it, unfortunately, due to the COVID and other illnesses, because COVID's still there. Anne and I think Kat had contacted a few designers and asked permission to print off a whole lot of freebies, and even some that are usually not freebies. So that was really nice, and there was just a small charge to cover cake, tea and coffee, and the cost of printing and what have you. So there was sort of a number of Christmas themed charts. I did pick up a couple. I don't know if I'll stitch them, but they were there. And this one doesn't have to be, I do like this. I think that's really pretty. So this one is Twin Peak Primitives, Old Mill Christmas. And you can go looking for these. A lot of these are available on various, I don't even know what I'm saying, on various Facebook groups and charts and stuff. This one I have to cover because I know it's free, but you have to go looking for it. So this is available on the DMC website, and it's called Joyeux Noël. So I'm just covering it because it's again free, but you have to go and put your name and address in, sign up for their newsletter or whatever. So that's DMC. That's quite cute. And then this one, I think it's a Doreen Jones. Yeah, it's a Doreen Jones one called. Who knows what it's called? It is called Penguin. Who'd have thought? It is quite cute. Anne had stitched this pre the event, and it's really cute. So It is cute. No can doubt. Even though I have an issue with animals and clothes, I can stand this. Kind of handle hats and scarves because they're not really clothes. So maybe I can handle animals with accessories, but I just don't. I don't really into anthropomorphizing animals. Like, I'm not into the Barbara Anna, like, I don't even know, what does she do? Foxes and dresses and things. I just don't. It's fine for children's books, but it's just not my thing. I understand it is. Some people want walls covered in animals and clothes. Not me. It's weird how we have things, right? It just weirds me out for some reason. Melissa comes along to the group. Hi, Melissa. She's stitching on a hobbity. Oh, no, her friends aren't going to see this. She's stitching on a hobbity piece for a wedding gift. And she had some sort of freebies and other bits and pieces that she was destashing. So I just grabbed a couple, and they're from Corinne. So the website is so http://ccarinne.canalblog.com. I'll try and get the address in here. But these are kind of like my sort of that samplery style of foliage and stuff. So I picked up a couple, and she had a couple by them. These don't have cover photos, but I mean, they're free, but again, you need to go find them yourself. So yeah, designed by C. Corinne, so CCARINNE. Picked those up. Otherwise, we just stitched and chatted and carried on. I didn't do a terrible amount of stitching because I don't go to stitching events to stitch, but also so I had a new start, but I'll show you that when we get to that in due course. But I also spent a little bit of time because Catherine from Country Stitch was there with her shop or some of her stuff, but she brings her colour samples, her fabric samples for all her dyeing. So I had taken along about, 15, 20 potential starts for next year, some charts, and just sat to go through making a wee list of colours that will suit some of the designs. I do need to order a few bigger pieces, as in bigger than a fat quarter. So I'm going to send through a wee kind of a list to Catherine to say over the next 6 months, can she, as part of my rainbow club, here's some fabric sizes and counts and colours that I'd like, as well as I'm going to send her an updated list of some overdyes. So she says she quite likes getting a nice list and then she can work her way through it. She is going to be ordering, doing another order, I think, for the overdyes soon, so it's a good time to send her a list. Anyone in New Zealand watching this, and you need some multiple skeins of any colours for any chart, send Catherine a list and then she can order that in for you. Catherine's also recently now offering or stocking all of the, what's the brand called that does Petite Treasure Braid? I can't remember the name of the company. Petite Treasure Braid, Whisper, all those different threads. They've got some, and she had some there, and they've got like a bamboo thread, and the silk's really lovely, so it's really interesting. It's a whole range, obviously we don't have ready access to necessarily, so keep that in mind. And she is also able to order the MPIs in, so I think, so it's just some options. So if you aren't aware, Catherine from Country Stitch, she has a website which you can see a lot of her fabric colours. She has got some new colours that are going to go up, but she needs to photograph them and get them up on the site. She showed me a couple of samples on her phone. But she can order things, so you just email her, send her a message via her email, or on her Facebook account, to order Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, the other one, Classic Colour Works, she does MPIs, she can do Mill Hill, the one I just talked about, the brand that has, is it Splendor? No. Is it Splendor? No. What is the brand? The brand that does petite treasure braids? Rainbow Gallery? Is it Rainbow Gallery? Shit. I can't remember. I think it's Rainbow Gallery. Do all their range, MPIs, Belsoir, and she is stocking. She's a seller of Bella Filipina. She does, and there's some other, and she can order some stuff in, So don't be afraid to reach out to her. And am I sponsored by her? No. But she's our local, in Wellington, she's a local shop because we don't have a lot of options. And also her website doesn't have all the stuff on there, but just message her. Speaking of Bella Filipina, so I've never done a Bella Filipina, but she had some there, and there was one that I just really fell in love with because she's kind of evil looking and has a different, I've stitched 3 mermaids. I've stitched 3 Mirabilia mermaids, and in my opinion, Bella Filipina, while you can see the influence, the style is very different. I could pick a Bella Filipina over a Mirabilia any day because they have very different faces, very different mood, in my opinion. So I bought one because she just looked evil and I really loved her. So this is going to take me down a rabbit hole, isn't it? Don't know when I just bought it because it was there. Temptress of the Cursed Sea, and she is very kind of otherworldly. I think Mirabilia mermaids are very girly, like they look like people-ish, stylized people, whereas the Bella Filipinas, a lot of hers are not, like this does not look like she's human, right? She has a sort of an elfin-y kind of air. I just really liked her, so I bought that one. Okay, also what came in was my Country Stitch Rainbow Club for the month, and again just working through a backlog of fabric. So this was a fat quarter in 35 count shortbread, so just another nice neutral, no specific plans for it, but I'm sure I'll kit something up with it. There will be some more interesting colours coming in the future now that I've picked some out. And then the 10 overdyes for 10 of the overdyes I need for Sunrise for Rosewood Manor. Those are the ones I've got today. I've got 10 more next month. So we've got the final skein of sockeye that I need. 2 skeins of Nope. 3 skeins of Sugar Plum. Pretty. 3 skeins of Autumn Leaves. And 1 skein of Madison Rose. So they go in the bag. Look at those colours, so luscious. So yeah, 10 more to come in July, and then that's this fully kitted up. And I need to send her a list of the others that I need for Sunset. But this is going to be a 2023 start, so don't expect to see it anytime soon. And then because they, Catherine also sends on the Silks for You clubs, they arrived as well, and I'm very excited about one of them. So the colour of the month, Silk, which is the 4 by 15 metre skeins, where all these paler but quite pretty. I'm pretty sure I've got this one already, but it's alright. So we're we got CM008, which is kind of light grey and blue, quite pretty. CM006, so these feel like, I don't know what I was trying to say. PR090, which has got a very bright turquoise in it and lavender. And PR138, which is more soft grey and shades of blue. So those were colour of the month, and the silks for the month, which are the 5 by 10 metre dyes. They're pretty. I really like these. So they are just June. Are they June? May. These are May silks of the month. So just numbers 1 through 5. But yeah, I've got the straw coloured, and then a pale green, sort of a more beigey neutral. This sort of slightly acidy yellow, and then the lovely orange. I want to do something in those colours. I don't know what, but so you may recall that I had 2 starts planned for this last week. I had a start on Tuesday for the winter solstice and a start on Friday for Matariki. So that meant on Sunday, after my video went up, I had to pick something to stitch on. So I pulled out Teresa Koget, my birthday start for this year, which was the first start 1 of 50. And I'm stitching this on 40 count beige by Weeks Dye Works, and I'm using a partial conversion. I've changed a couple of colours, but mostly it's so all the DMC is called for, and then where the over dyes were called for, I've substituted those from Stash. And I got some more done. So I don't have much to do I? So I got that big ass bowl of strawberries done, and the birds, and that vase of flowers, and all the bees. So all the bees are done now. There were actually 5 that I needed to do. So that one up here, that one there, and then the 3 around that strawberries. So I don't have a lot to do. There's the angel in the middle, there's a big Whatsit and another big Whatsit. So a couple of big Whatsits, a few little bits and bobses, and an angel at the top. Oh, big bopses and wopsits and hooflacky doodles. That's what I've got to do. But I'm looking forward to not stitching on this Weeks Dye Work fabric. It is very gappy. It's just not my favourite. But I like how it looks. It's not Zweigart, it's the other fabric. And yeah, I can understand why people don't like it, because it is sort of slightly fluffy and gappy, but it's fine. Yeah. So that got a little bit of love on Sunday and Monday. Then I had my start on Tuesday evening, which was start number 23 of 50. And I've got Nevermore by Lila Studio that I changed the fabric a couple of times, hence the old whiteout there. So I finally settled on 36 count silver birch from Country Stitch, which I added an E to for some reason. She doesn't have an E on the end, but I got excited with my pen. Again, a partial conversion, because that's how I roll. I don't know what's called for or not called for. This is not a great copy, as in this printout. I was a bit low in some ink, so it could only look better, right? So that is that one. And of course I'm a bottom starter. This could be misinterpreted. And there she is. I got all of the bottom done, bottom couple of bands done, and the side, and then this is one of the colours that's definitely a substitution. It calls for a Slug Bug by Silk and Colours, so Thread Gatherer Silk and Colours Slug Bug, and I picked a couple of colours out to try, and in the end it's a Thread Gatherer, no it's not, it's a Threadworks that I don't remember what colour it is, and it's quite a lot more bright, but I kind of liked that, especially on the green, this silver birch colour. And that colour is also used for, it's used for the tree, so this up here with the graveyard, the tree, and that. So kind of get these sort of, nice sort of triangle of that colour. And then I love the colour that's in here, which I'm pretty sure that's called for, this bluey, greeny, what is that? Who knows? I don't know what it is. Lagoon. Yeah, that Gentle Arts Lagoon is just stunning. It's just beautiful, that lagoon colour at the bottom, and it's in there as well. So the raven is going to be a different colour, so I've substituted the raven. I'm going to use, I changed that for Gentle Arts Raven, I think it's Gentle Arts. And I'm using soot instead of blackboard, and I'm using, I don't know, I've just mixed them around, and I'm using something that I can't read instead of gunmetal. It looks like I wrote down smiles, but I think it's skillet. Cast iron skillet, that'll be what it is, yeah. Anyway, that was a pretty good start. So Tuesday, after I got home from the Matariki thing, I started that. I got quite a lot done. And Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, yeah. So I got 3 days on that. And then on Friday, and I forgot to finish my story before, I talked about how I spent quite a bit of time at the Matariki stitching event, choosing fabric colours and chatting and catching up. I did a little bit of stitching, but I also gifted a couple of hours of my time to dear Judith, who had given me such, basically I said, look, belated birthday present, I'm going to frog. She'd had an issue with Ruskin's penguins, so I'm doing that as a stitch along with Judith and Anne from the New Zealand Stitchy group. And usually I would have stitched that because we were meeting together, but I wanted to do a new start, and I had known that Judith had a frogging. She had an error, a counting error. So I said, give it to me and I will frog it for you. So I frogged that for her, took it back to where it's all correct again, because I didn't want to stitch forward with, I want to stitch it with them. So I thought that was a really easy thing to do. And I don't mind frogging. I find it quite relaxing. I'd rather stitch forward. I'd rather not undo. However, I don't mind undoing. So I did that for her. So I didn't stitch anything on my Ruskin's penguins, but I unstitched on her Ruskin's penguins. So I did that for her. So she's ready to kick that off next time we stitch it, which will be really nice. And Ruskin's penguins didn't get any love from me, which is perfectly fine because I'll finish it. I could finish it in a weekend if I wanted to, but no hurry, right? So my new start was Our Forest Embroidery Southernland, which I'm stitching on 32 count Fairy Dust by Zweigart. It's a very light cream, and I started this is start number 24 of 50, so we're nearly halfway. And I've written down it's a Threadworks conversion, but I have actually changed one of the flosses, and I didn't bring the conversion, but I didn't like one of the colours. It was too light, and I did look around my stash, and I couldn't find a colour I liked, so I pulled the cord for DMC. Didn't quite have enough colour for that. Didn't have enough. I only had a small bit of the skein left, and I went the next shade up. So it's sort of the call for DMC, but it's friend, and I got all this done. So at the Stitchy event, I basically got most of this box done. and possibly you can tell by the fact that I did the rest of it yesterday. I didn't do anything yesterday. I was supposed to be getting my life together, but I stitched instead and I watched a shit ton of House. I possibly watched a season of House because I just needed a break from life and the world. So I feel really good now because I've had a day of not talking with people. So I got all that done. So that's got all the colours in it. So 3 of the colours, the red, the pale blue and the darker variegated blue are all Threadworks, and then this colour here is DMC 350. And the other colour I had pulled was the Threadworks, but it was very pale. It was too peachy. The contrast was too great. This needed to be tonally, all of these colours, apart from the light blue. The light blue gives you that little bit of break, but the other 3 colours are quite saturated. So it's quite so it's going to look a little more, I don't know, it's going to look a little brighter than what the mock-up is. This red's a little lighter, and this is a little darker, and the blue is a little, I'm not sure, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyway, I got all that done. There's a lot, like I've stitched that, so I'm only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm making a 1/6 of the way. But it's kind of got good foundation. Looking forward to the fact that these 2 sides are not symmetrical, because a lot of it's symmetrical, so you have to, stitch everything twice, which is not as much fun as stitching it once. But the butterflies are different, and these panels are different, and they're quite big panels, so that's kind of quite cool. And I've just started in here, so next time I pick it up, I'll probably start over here and do that panel. I don't know, but anyway, I'll put it away for now. So no start this week, but I did ask you the last video to vote for my next start, which will be start number 25 next Sunday, something of July, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, something early July. And I asked you to vote on Rule of Life by Modern Folk Embroidery, A Perfect World by the Scarlet House, or Miss Bingley's Library by Plum Street Samplers. Thank you for all your votes. I decided just to call it. Thank you to the few of you who voted for Rule of Life. It didn't come first. And the A Perfect World definitely took out of the gates running. It was the early leader. Then Miss Bingley's Library brought up the rear but came in the second. So I think it was something like 18 votes for A Perfect World, then 12 or 13 votes for Miss Bingley's Library, and a handful, I don't remember if it was 4 or 6 or something, for Rule of Life. And I had a look through my little book of days where I sort of, in my spreadsheet, I've got spreadsheets and all sorts of stuff planning my life, and I didn't have anything planned for the next 3 weeks, so I decided to start all 3 of them. Surprise! So every one of you was like, I really want to see that stitch. You will see it stitched. So start number 25 is going to be A Perfect World next week. Then the week after will be the Miss Bingley's Library, which will be start number 26, and then start number 27 is going to be Rule of Life by Modern Folk Embroidery. So there you go. Next 3 starts have been chosen by you, my lovely subscribers. Then I think I've got something planned for some reason, but I can't remember, it's too far out and it could change. So yeah, next 3 starts chosen, that's excellent. I just found on the floor a couple of skeins of cornbread. I must have dropped them. They also were in my haul from Country Stitch. So that will be also for Sunrise. And I dropped them on the floor and didn't show you them, but it's, yeah, pretty as well. So thank you to everybody for coming along and watching my FlossTube this week. I appreciate you and appreciate in advance all the comments and things and likes. So really, it is fun getting to say hi to you all. Send me through next week, because I won't have a new start, I'll just have some whips to show you, because I won't be starting my next start until after the video. Send me through any questions or anything you want me to answer. Well, within reason, obviously. I don't know if you want to know my shoe size, and I don't actually know if I know what it is right now. Haven't been shoe shopping for ages. But yeah, send through any questions, anything you want me to chat about in particular. I am planning to do, I guess, a stitch with me. I have my new arm finally arrived that I ordered, that I think it'll bolt on. I haven't even tried it. I need to bolt it on somewhere. But it has an arm that in theory can hold the phone above me, so you could see my stitching. I don't know how this is going to work. I probably will set up a bit of a trial one. I don't know. We'll see. But I know a lot of you want to see how I stitch. I'm like, do I get a manicure first? I've been chewing my cuticles because stress, and my hands are a freaking mess, but never mind. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit next week as well, about when that might be. I don't know. It's kind of weird talking to people who aren't there. Do I do a live stream maybe and have my iPad, not my iPad, my tablet up for comment? I don't know. I sort of feel like I won't get much done, but that's okay. I don't know. Let me know thoughts. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I know people want to see me stitch, because I stitch fast, and they want to see how I do it. And I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. What do you want me to do? I have no idea. What should I talk about? When I'm talking, do I talk with you? Do I talk to you? What do I talk about? Let me know. I've got no idea. Other than people have asked, but I just don't know. I don't watch a lot of Stitch With Me's because I don't want to see people stitching. So it depends what they're talking about, I guess. Like, for example, I do not watch Stitch With Me that are just people stitching with music playing, because I don't watch FlossTube. I listen to FlossTube, and then I look up every now and then to look at what it is. But it's just people rabbiting on the corner while I stitch. So if if I'm going to listen to music, I might as well play some music I like, not some open source free crap from YouTube. And I just don't need to watch someone stitching. But I appreciate that people are a bit mystified as to how I stitch so quickly. So possibly some of I'm rabbiting on now. Oh my God, this video is going to be so long. I have to go and do some stuff. I need to have a drink other than water. I mean like a cup of coffee or something. And I need to put some stuff away. And I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm feeling a bit all over the show. Edit this video, get it up. They'll probably said that like 3 times. Everybody take care, look after yourselves, be safe, find joy in your stitching, don't stress about it. And yes, I am open to hire if you want me to frog. I'll do anything to pay off my mortgage. I'll see you all next week, and in the meantime, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.